Hello, everyone. So, I am going to talk about goal setting today. And so, this just isn't New Year's resolutions type goal setting. This is goal setting you can do any time of year and not just about health and fitness, whatever you are called to in your life right now. So, for me, I like to do sort of get a vision for my year and then sort of backtrack that to what am I going to do quarterly and then even checking in each month on my goal and maybe even each. So there's different ways that you can look at goal setting. So as we go through this, I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper and get ready to write down some things for yourself. And you can also see which way best you want to do this. And this isn't just about health and fitness. This can be for any area of your life. So the first thing I want you to think about is want. So that's how our goals start. We want something. So do you want to be healthy? Do you want to feel your best? Do you want to have more energy? Do you want to be able to keep up with your kids? Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to lose 20 pounds? So just really taking time to think about it as what you really want. So once you have that in mind, you can take that next step. While you're thinking about that, I also want you to think about who do you want to become? So if this is like casting that longer vision. So that vision, maybe 3, 5 from years now, who do you want to become? And I just want you to keep in mind that our goals are more, what we do is more about who we are, and we're just not someone who accomplishes goals and checks something off our list. So just we are more than just a simple goal. We're not just people who accomplish things. Just going to that deeper calling into your life. So let's say maybe you want to lose 20 pounds. And who do you want to become? You want to become that mom that has energy to play with her kids. All right, next one, and I always do this with my personal clients, is knowing that true why. So sort of digging down a little deeper and really getting to the heart of it. So someone who wants pounds, that is not their like true why to lose weight because you lose 20 pounds and then what? It doesn't really have much meaning. And so maybe they're getting healthy because they are an older parent and they want to be there for their kids when they are in their 60s. Or maybe they just want to be able to go out on hikes and play around with their kids and play tag with them in the yard. Um, so really taking some time to maybe talk to someone, to maybe journal, and just figuring out what that true motivation is for you and what's at the heart of it. And then while you're doing that, I want you to think of how will this make your life better and what will be different. So if I accomplish this losing 20 pounds, how is my life actually going to be better? What is going to change that will make it worth it? So really digging down to that motivation. So maybe if you lose that 20 pounds, you're going to have more energy and you're actually going to be more productive and do more things. You might actually have the energy to wake up 20 minutes early and do what you need to. So just really, if you're a visual person, really imagining that in your mind. How is this going to be different? Like, what would my life actually look like if I were to accomplish this goal? All right, so now we're at the part of writing down our goals. So I like to start with just 1 to 3 goals. There's nothing wrong with just picking one goal. Um, so as you go through this, make sure you have a piece of paper for each goal so that you can write down all these steps in between. So let's say our first goal is to lose 20 pounds in 4 months. So the first thing I want you to think is you're going to create. So we have to have a way to get there. And so with anything, our daily habits is what will lead up to reaching that goal. And so the nice thing about habits is they just start to become a routine. So it typically takes about 3 months, not 3 weeks, to actually develop a new habit. So I want you to really stick with those habits. Now, habits are something that you can stack. So maybe after a month, you have made this one habit to cut out all soda or pop. And let's say you have 2 or 3, so that you might have like a 500 calorie deficit. And that might be enough for you to start seeing changes. So maybe after a month, you're going to look and you're going to be like, do I need to just stay right here or am I able to add one more thing on top of that? Maybe I'm going to add in that I'm going to get 3 vegetables every day. But you only want to stack that or add another habit when you feel comfortable and like you can do it. So you always want what you're doing to be doable, because if you can't stick with it for the long term, then it's only going to be something you do for a few months. And then typically you'll end up feeling worse about yourself because you put all this time and effort into it, but you weren't able to stick with it. So you want to create something that is really sustainable. Next, I want you to think about the hard part. What are you going to give up? What obstacles do you foresee? And how are you going to handle those? So maybe if you're trying to lose 20 pounds and you typically go out to eat a few times a week, you might either one have to give up going out to eat that many times a week, or you might just have to be ready to get a salad at dinner instead of grabbing your favorite pasta dish or pizza dish. So figuring out what those obstacles, knowing what you're going to have to give up or maybe what you're going to have to do a little differently, and just really knowing how you're going to handle those, because those bumps in the road are going to come up. What are you going to do on family pizza night? Maybe you'll decide that you can't eat 2 slices of pizza, but you're going to have a really big salad or a lot of vegetables so you don't stuff yourself with pizza. Um, so just really thinking it through, knowing what's going to come up in your life. And then also, what can you do to set yourself up for success? So that's the same idea if you tend to go out to eat, or if you have family pizza night, or maybe you have family gatherings. And so maybe you're going to decide that before I go over to my family or friend's house, I'm actually going to eat before I go. So maybe I'm only having a small snack there instead of picking out on the junk food. Um, so really taking some time to dig through that. Each person's situation is different, so you want to find out what is going to work for you. And really taking time to do this part is what is going to help make your goals successful. So the next thing, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to think, how committed are you to this goal? Now, this is just a number, but I say if it's not higher than an 8, then you need to tweak something. Because if you're not really committed to that goal, you're not going to stick to it. And so a 1 would be like, you're not going to do that goal at all. And 10 is like, oh, you are going to crush this goal. So if you are not higher than an 8 or higher, what do you need to do? Can you tweak the goal? So maybe instead of losing 20 pounds in 4 months, I might say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 4 months. And there's nothing wrong with that. So really, what is going to work for you? Because maybe you're not going to be able to do enough to really get to that 20 pounds. And in the long run, that doesn't matter if you lose 10 pounds and pounds, because it matters what you can stick with and what you can keep off. So maybe you need to problem solve with this goal. So maybe you're really stuck on one of those obstacles you foresee. So maybe you need to talk it out with somebody and really problem solve about what you can do with whatever obstacles you see in your way. Or maybe you really have to get over that you have to give up something and you're just not ready to yet. So really deciding if you're ready to, or if there's some other way that can help you. Maybe there's a different solution. So maybe like with pop, maybe you're going to drink sparkling water. And of course, at first, it's not going to taste sweet enough, but just giving it a try and maybe trying out different things. Maybe you're going to have a smoothie with fruits and vegetables instead to sort of get that sweet taste in. And really, if you feel like you can't bump that goal up to something that you're really committed to, then maybe you need a completely new goal. And that is okay if you something, because it's really not worth to go through it for a few weeks or a couple months and not really be successful at it. So being okay to change that goal, or maybe saying like, you know what, there's just life right now that I can't really commit what I need to. So I'm going to come back to this in a few months. So really just deciding what you need to do to make yourself successful. And that starts with your goal in the first place. Is that a successful goal that you're going to be able to stick with and produce the results that you want? So along with all that, just taking that time to think about setbacks. So maybe you need to make adjustments in what you're doing. So maybe you're having a hard week and you had a couple bad days. So what adjustments can you make? What do you need to tweak? What do you need to do to set yourself up for better success? And I want you to keep in mind, especially with health and fitness, that consistency pays off. So just because you have one bad night where you go out to happy hour with friends and you ate more and you drank more than you wanted to, in the long run of a whole week or a whole month, it doesn't matter. So it's sort of just hopping right back on. So maybe you have a terrible weekend. Um, but you're just going to hop right back on for the rest of the month and you're not going to sabotage yourself and feel bad about it. And also with health and fitness, you have to allow yourself those breaks. So there's nothing wrong with necessarily having a treat or splurging here or there, or maybe missing a workout every once in a while. But overall, it's that consistency from each week that will lead to the success that you want. And so if you start to get setbacks, that's when I always like to come back to that true motivation, that big why you are doing that. So maybe that's something you need to put up on your bathroom mirror, um, just coming back to it, maybe talking with a friend, maybe journaling about it, whatever it is, coming back to that true motivation. Why are you really doing this? Is it really still worth it? And so I just want to end with this quote: time and health are precious assets that we don't recognize and appreciate until they have been depleted. So I think in our world, it's just not very health driven and not very preventative health driven. Even our healthcare system isn't set up for preventative health. It's more that pill for an ill, or you need stitches or a broken arm, and it's great at that. But really preventing, high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, it's really not that great for. And that is so precious if we're able to take care of our bodies and prevent that and live the life we truly are meant to. And a lot of times we don't notice that until things start popping up and things start going wrong. So I just hope that you just really recognize how precious our bodies are, how lucky we are to be able to move our bodies and actually get up and move them. And our health is a gift. So I hope that you enjoy this goal setting. And I hope that you don't use it now, just at the beginning of the year, but all throughout the year, just keeping in mind and coming back to what you want. So I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, just comment below or